Hi everyone. I just thought I'd take the time to finish the last few slides of my keynote presentation from this morning, and thank you for all of your patience. When I left off, we were talking about AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, and how we might work with this very advanced concept that is challenging at the university and postgraduate level in a way that young students could have the opportunity to become aware of the impact of this on their lives and future careers, and to also give them an understanding of how it works. So I was sharing with you this Scratch presentation that I worked on with my youngest son, and he recorded himself singing, rapping, clapping, and snapping. And then we were able to use the machine learning for kids.co.uk site to create this Scratch application. So let's just take a look and see that in action. So you can see it's singing right now. It did recognize the singing. So then he switches to his rapping. It's him snapping, and it does say snapping, so it's recognizing it, and then clapping. So it does a pretty good job with the very small sample that we fed into it. Now you can have your students use text or images as well. So as I was saying, when I got cut off, sorry, we have an opportunity here as researchers, Dr. Cafe and Dr. Burke have said, an opportunity to use coding as a new literacy to reshape schools' use of computers to be more creative and more collaborative. So often we see the word innovation associated with the term STEM. And a recent report indicates that although Canada has some work to do with diversity when it comes to STEM, we're actually doing pretty well with being skilled in STEM. But where Canada does need work, and where you'll maybe have noticed funding is going towards, is innovation. So an example of such funding is Can Code, which many of you might have benefited from working with some nonprofit organizations with coding across Canada. So at my master's convocation a few years ago, I had the honor to hear from Dr. Gilles Petrie, who's an engineer, researcher, and past president of Innovation Canada for 7 years. So through innovation, he said that we can improve the quality of life for all Canadians. Innovation is about people. And I've just shared some Canadian inventions that you can see here. So pretty much all of these inventions were all about helping people. That's what the inventors were inspired by. So we've got the insulin process, the pacemaker, the electric wheelchair, and as well computerized braille, for instance. Even mashed potatoes, which maybe help us by making our lives a little easier. So I want to share one last story with you all related to this topic of innovation. So this is Emma. Emma is a graphic designer who was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease at the age of 29. And because of uncontrollable tremors, she can't draw and write the way she used to, and has been unable to effectively practice her lifelong passion. And this here is Hyen. Hyen is a computer scientist and a researcher with Microsoft. Hyen listened to Emma and learned of her challenges, as well as her dream to someday be able to write her name legibly again. Hyen set out to come up with a plan to help Emma. And after months of research and prototypes, Hyen and her team created a gadget that interrupts the feedback loops which cause the movement issues with Parkinson's disease. And Emma was once again able to write her name legibly. And as you can see, here, it's quite an emotional moment for both Emma and for Hyen. So what we see here in Emma's story, to help her reduce the impact of the tremors, it wasn't just an understanding of computer science that helped. It would have required a team of people who understood biomechanics, the feedback loops in the nervous system, ergonomic specialists, electrical and mechanical engineers, as well as a computer scientist. But most importantly, It required someone who took the time to understand Emma's problem, the impact it had on her life, to fully comprehend the activities that she loved and was missing out on. It took a human being who was curious about understand the problem, who was empathetic, and who was creative. It was her drive to help others which inspired Hyen to be innovative. So we've seen examples touching upon most of these ideas today that I've listed here. And while I only had an hour and a little bit more with this video, hopefully this has inspired you to consider exploring these ideas further. So how might you engage students with computational thinking and beyond? Consider ensuring your students get to engage with computational thinking, but also moving beyond, as we saw today. So it's not just the study of computers, it's what we can do with the computers. Students can be creative, innovative, and empathetic with coding in cross-curricular ways, much like what Ada Lovelace imagined over 200 years ago when she combined math, thinking, and creativity in her vision of poetical science. By ensuring such opportunities and fostering this type of thinking, your students can improve upon themselves, their communities, and even the world. So thanks for the opportunity to share. You can see I do have the link that I've shared in the Summit conference page. So it's bit.ly/ITS Summit Floyd. Summit Floyd. And you can check out that link. All of the links from my presentation from today are on there. Thanks again.